Hey, from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
Hey, Darren Patterson.
How's it going? Good, sir. Getting in the Halloween spirit with the spooky ghoulies and ghosties and what have you?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. You?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know. Like, I feel like...
Well, see, I'm yes and you, and then you're just like, yeah, nah.
I know butted you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that as a man of a certain age, like Halloween just doesn't, maybe it doesn't have the same staying power as it used to when I was when I wore a younger man's clothes.
Yeah,
like
you really should give those back to that younger man.
Well, whatever, man. He gave them to me, and that's the way it is. Some things will never
change. But he's like just wandering around naked. It's just not right.
Hey, who told him to give me his clothes?
Okay,
give him my clothes.
Okay, yeah. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
As well, you shouldn't, sir. As well, you shouldn't.
All right, forget I said anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to sit here quietly.
Well,
while we record our podcast.
I don't. Well, we gotta. No, you can't do that. Don't go that far with it. I mean, we gotta do a podcast here, man. Like, people can't just... People log in to this podcast to hear our hot takes and our witty quips and what have you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you've convinced me.
Wow,
I'm back on the train.
That didn't take long at all. Wow, that barely...
I thought about like letting you twist in the wind for a few moments, but then I just thought the better of it.
Wow,
yeah. No, I'm not going to be that cruel.
Oh, you're tough but fair. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, new episode of SNL, season 50, episode 4, Michael Keaton, Billie Eilish, from October 19th, 2024. What do we think about it, Darren?
Not bad.
Me too.
Not bad. No, honestly, not bad. This was an okay episode.
Okay, all right.
It had, I don't think, overall, I don't think any sketch truly bottomed out. There was maybe one...
I don't know if I entirely agree with your police work there. Yeah.
All right, maybe there's one that I would say came pretty... Yeah, there's one that maybe I would say kind of bottomed out. But other than that, there's some good stuff in this episode. And I will stand by that.
Okay. Yeah, I will say there was some good stuff in this episode, but it did kind of... It was a case of diminishing returns the more we went on.
Yeah, like I think I prefer the Ariana Grande episode to this one, but
yeah, I think I did too.
Yeah, but it still wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't terrible.
I mean, look, I always enjoy Michael Keaton. As a Gen Xer, I am like legally obligated to love Michael Keaton.
As you should, yes.
I have not seen the Beetlejuice yet. Have you?
I have not. It's one of those things where, I mean, it's been forever since I've seen the first Beetlejuice. I remember liking it, but I know there are like some diehard Beetlejuice fans out there, like those, the goth kids from our Gen X world who are like, oh my God, Beetlejuice is amazing. And like, so they've been frothing at the mouth for this Beetlejuice sequel to happen for like the longest time. I am not one of those mouth frothers. I'm like, all right, I like the first Beetlejuice.
I've always said this about you. Yes. Darren Patterson, not a mouth frother.
Non-mouth frother.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the first Beetlejuice movie. I thought it was fun. I thought he did a great job. But honestly, if they ended it there, I would have been totally fine with it. I'm not one of those people who are like, we have to get another Beetlejuice. We just have to. Like, no, we don't. We're fine.
Yeah. Like, people want things. They don't need as many things as they want.
Yeah. I think when people say they want like a sequel or a follow-up to a movie they grew up with, I think they just want to be young again.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, you don't really want that new Indiana Jones movie. You just want to feel young again. You want to recapture your youth. You want to feel like you did in the 80s, back when Indiana Jones was the big thing.
Yeah, you just want to feel something. That's
exactly. Ooh, this got dark.
Yeah, it really did. Wow. Happy Halloween!
I mean, not inaccurate, but dark.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I guess it did. We're going to say some jokes on here, people, I swear.
So anyway, Michael Keaton's back at SNL.
Yeah.
We got starting out. We have the Fox News Kamala Harris interview cold open. I did not watch the Kamala Harris Fox News interview because honestly, I just didn't see the point.
I did not see it either. I try to avoid all things having to do with Fox News.
Yeah.
I mean, I know enough about it, and I will give Kamala credit for sort of going into the
lion's den,
the lion's den, the enemy territory. But because she is trying to reach out to people who probably don't want to hear what she had to say and who already made up their minds. But I think she's also trying to not make the same mistakes maybe Hillary made. By she's trying all right, let's
campaigning in Michigan and all that.
Exactly. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I learning from the mistakes of the past. I mean, I just didn't see much point in me watching it because it's like, well, I know I'm going to vote for her. And I don't like watching Fox News, and I know it's going to be a hostile interview. And is she going to say much that surprises me? Probably not.
Yeah.
And, I saw on the social media, I'm like, okay, I got the gist of this. Yeah, he interrupted a lot. He played the wrong clip, yada, yada, yada.
It turned out to be basically what you thought it'd be.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever heard of Brett Baer before this week.
Me neither. I thought I knew all the Fox villains. But Brett Baer is a new one. That's a new supervillain.
I mean, I get all the blonde ladies mixed up which I think is understandable if you're not a regular Fox watcher. But Brett Baer, I was like, that's a new one on me. Maybe they've had a lot of turnover. Maybe it's all the sexual harassment lawsuits or whatever.
Yeah, Brett Baer, get over here. Yeah, they made him in the Fox lab.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's what it feels like with all the blonde anchor ladies.
They're like Thing 1 and Thing 2 in the Dr. Seuss books.
Sure. But yeah, we surprisingly had Alec Baldwin making his return to SNL. We haven't seen him quite as much because he's had his troubles.
He has had his troubles. I think the last time he was on was I believe during that Timothée Chalamet episode where he came on. He came on for that really quick cameo at the very end.
Yeah, and people were like, "Oh, we don't know how to feel about this right now."
I think back then I was saying I think they're testing the waters to see if we're ready for Baldwin again, and and sure enough, I was kind of right because here we are. We got full Baldwin in our face.
We got full Baldwin. We got all Baldwined up in here. Are you? I'm okay with him coming back to the show. I think,
I think so. Yeah, it is one of the things. I mean, of course he had, the horrible tragedy that happened on the set of that movie Rust. Which
that was a title. Thank you. I was trying to remember the title this morning, and I was like, I can't remember.
Yeah, and I think last I saw, I think the movie is coming out. I think they worked out something with the distributor. I believe it's
and he was found not liable in his trial, as I recall. So I feel like if Baldwin has a path back to the public's good graces or redemption or whatever, it's going to go through SNL to a large degree.
Yeah, I mean he has that history with. I mean, of course, he's like the second highest. He's the host that has done the most shows, right behind
Hostess Steve with the mostest.
Right, I think he's right. I think he's neck and neck with Steve Martin. He's right behind.
Yeah, him. he and Martin always are. Yeah. I mean, they had a sketch when Baldwin did, it was some milestone hosting.
Yeah.
And he and Martin were trying to poison each other, and
as you do.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you do after you just host a certain number of episodes. That's what we do. I mean, that's what Darren. Look, if I had a nickel for every time Darren and I tried to poison each other,
right?
I mean, I would have at least $1.
Yeah, it's very much like that scene in The Princess Bride with George Wallace and Carrie Elwes, where you think
George Wallace.
I mean Wallace Shaw. Damn it, I mixed up my Wallace.
Wallace Shawn. That scene in The Princess Bride with George Wallace where he's trying to prevent black people from coming.
Now, you think I put the poison in the other cup, man? Well, that ain't right. Shout out to George Wallace.
That is so not what I expected to hear when we recorded this episode.
Hey man, take it off the cuff here.
Gonna need a minute.
Okay. if Frank could put in some like Spanish flea or some, hold for technical difficulties music right here.
I'm sorry. The more I think about it, the funnier it gets. Oh God! Oh, that hit me so unexpectedly.
Inconceivable, baby.
Excuse me.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus.
So Fox News.
The Fox News interview, the cold open. Yeah, Alec Baldwin as Britt Bayer. He's interrupting her constantly.
Yeah, as he did in the real life interview.
Yeah, which is from what I understand. Honestly, yeah, I only know about the interview from reading about it. I haven't watched any clips of it even, but yeah, that's fine. I mean, I knew enough to still get this.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it either, but from what I understand, it was pretty. Yeah, it's pretty hostile, like kind of right off the rip. Like he did interrupt her quite a bit, really pushed her on, the immigrant situation and like a lot of things, like wasn't letting her finish. And there was that thing where I think at one point he said, well, half the country wants, this man to be president. Would you call those people stupid? And she was like, no, I would never say they're stupid. I would never call the American people stupid. Like he was trying to goad her.
He was trying to bait her, into
exactly.
saying something, and I know that like he admitted like a few days later, oh yeah, we played the wrong clip at some point, and it's like, well, yeah, why didn't you like call that out in the moment? Fuck nuts.
Yeah, it's one of you see what the game is. You see what they're doing here.
Yeah, exactly, and he also accused her of like looking for a viral moment, and it's like, well, yeah, duh, because she's campaigning in 2024, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Going like everyone's looking for a viral moment. Everyone, we're looking for our viral moment.
I think we might have just had it.
Did we?
What the fucking George Wallace shit? I think that might have been
it. Maybe.
I did it. We did it, guys.
But I like the line they gave to Kamala here, where she says, like, if I prosecuted all these cartels, if I was in Breaking Bad, it would have ended in 3 episodes.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I will say this, like the back and forth between Baldwin and Maya Rudolph as Kamala was quite good. They were both
I mean, they're two pros. They had a great rhythm. I like the gag where he accuses her for looking for a viral moment. She says, "Oh no, I'm not looking for a viral moment," and then she like turns and does a TikTok video.
Yeah, it's very demure, very mindful. Yeah. And then we're in the club.
Yeah, and then he says, "Oh well, we have a clip of Trump," and they cut to James Austin Johnson as Trump. Is this the first time that Baldwin has been in a sketch with James Austin Johnson's Trump? I was trying to remember.
I feel like it has. I feel like it is. I think.
Yeah, because I mean, he played Trump for the longest time, and then James Austin Johnson came in, and then Alec Baldwin wasn't on the show for a long time, so I feel like it is.
I think you're right.
And because it feels true, I'm just going to say it is true.
Yes, that's what Fox News does. So we're going to go that route. Like it feels true, so it is true.
Yeah,
go
ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, and I will say, I think the way they're using the Trump impression in this format works better. Like, because we're used to seeing, JJ as Trump come out and just kind of ramble on for hours, just, just a big old bunch of word salad. But here, I think it's a little bit more contained and like in more smaller bite-sized kind of things. And, and of course they have it more like a smaller, and it's able to be contrast to more, the sane sayings of Kamala Harris afterwards. Like, well, what was he? I think it works better in this format.
I agree. I think they've gotten his random flow down really well. I mean, I liked how they had him ping-ponging from one topic to another, the way the real Trump is doing these days. And he's like, they're going to Zoltar's and they're coming back big. It was funny stuff, but it didn't overstay its welcome. So that was good.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think with the rambling before, at some points, even though it's a spot on impression, it's very good. You could feel like, this is they should wrap this up. It's kind of just going on and on and on, kind of like I am right now. But yeah, I like how they like shortened it up and made it a little bit more compact, and so it's not as rambly.
Yeah. And they cut to, because like Trump had that weird thing this week where at his rally he just
has a weird thing
dancing.
Every week.
Yeah, he does. I mean, and every week it's some new unpredictable weird thing. And this week it was like him deciding not to take questions at his rally and instead just dancing to the most random selection of music ever at his rally for 39 or 39 minutes.
Yeah, like I think at one point he danced to YMCA, and I think Maya commented on that. Like, look, he can do that at his rallies. He can just stand there and dance to songs that he doesn't realize are gay anthems.
Yes. Like, does he not listen to the lyrics?
Yeah, then he danced to It's Raining Men.
Yeah, and also like November Rain by Guns N' Roses, and Hallelujah, the Rufus Wainwright cover.
Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah. Like I said, really random playlist that he has an odd taste of music. I mean, he's a weird dude, so I'm not surprised that he has an odd random assortment of music, but it's really odd.
Yeah, like
didn't they also have like Ave Maria or something like that?
Yeah, like even the people on stage with him are like, what's happening now? What do we do? What
are we doing? Huh?
Ave Maria.
Okay. Hey, let's make him look normal. I'm going to wave my hands the same way he is, and yeah.
Yeah, nothing gets the crowd pumped up like Ave Maria.
Yeah, it's so odd. He's a deeply, deeply weird man, and he doesn't realize how weird he is, which makes him even weirder.
Yeah. I mean, when you surround yourself with yes men that tells you everything you do is awesome, you don't know.
Yeah, true.
You're not going to know how bizarre you are.
That's true. Yeah, you just go down your weird-ass rabbit holes.
And then we also, and they also put in a few clips of Dana Carvey as Joe Biden talking about things like, like him talking about the hurricane that hits Florida, but the Fox chops it up to make it look like he's talking about Kamala. And then they had another one where he was talking about the Joker 2 movie, but they chopped it up to make it look like he's talking about Kamala, like little things like that.
Right.
We're okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Maya's Kamala ended with the whole Joe Biden thing and talking about how Joe Biden is brilliant, but
yeah. She did it. It's the Joe Biden thing. I don't mean to harp on this, but I still don't get what she's doing or why she's doing it, because I've never heard Kamala say anything that sounds remotely like Joe Biden.
Yeah, like are they trying to do like a Baba Wawa type of thing where
I don't know. Is the joke she's trying to make it sound like an African name or something?
I don't think so. I think did she ever say Joe Biden, or maybe it feels like something she would have said?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's like a not gonna duh. Like something that person never actually said, but that's just like, I'm going to incorporate this into my impression. I'm still so perplexed whenever she goes to the Joe Biden thing, and like she, and she was doing so many things that she started to sound like Mushmouth from Fat Albert. I'm supposed to talk to you, Bubba.
Wow, that's a throwback. But yeah,
that's right.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, you have a good point.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still just mystified by the Joe Biden thing. I don't know if it really bothers me. I'm just still confused by it, though.
Yeah, like I don't understand why that. Like when Dana Carvey does the Joe Biden impression, he says, and one thing, and by the way, like that sounds a little bit more believable to like something
that's building off of Biden's actual cadences and patterns of speech, and the Joe Biden thing, as far as I can tell, does not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It definitely feels like a Baba Wawa type of situation.
Yeah, that's a good way to compare it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Barbara Walters never said, Wawa, talked with.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lisp.
Yeah, but like Gilda decided to play it like that. And it's like, all right, that's a choice.
Yeah, choice. Just because, Baba Wawa is funny thing to say. I don't know. Yeah, that's still weird.
Still weird. Overall, not a bad cold open, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, and like great rhythm, great back and forth with them. Just going like you're gonna love the way I look. You look, we guarantee it.
Yes, it threw in a Men's Warehouse reference. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, all right, okay. Here we go. Okay.
Is Men's Warehouse a national chain, or is that just a regional thing in the New York area?
Ooh, good question.
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's a national thing, right?
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I was just kind of wondering, like, is this like too inside baseball? But
I don't know. Listeners,
whatever.
chime in, text us, or tweet at us.
Yeah,
Don't text us. You don't have our numbers. Tweet at us and let us know if Men's Warehouse is a national change or not.
yeah. At which point we will say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because we'll have forgotten that we talked about Men's Warehouse at all.
Yep. We're Mr. Short-term memories.
That's right. And I don't remember why I stood under that pear tree.
Monologue.
So next, Michael Keaton's monologue. He comes out and talks about when he's there for the 50th season. He talks about when SNL premiered in 1975. He was working as PA on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and then talks about how like everything the shows have in common, including Mr. Rogers apparently doing lots of cocaine.
Yes, a lot of puppets, tons of cocaine.
Yeah, which just I don't know that I don't think that went over in a big way because I think people just don't like to joke about Mr. Rogers, and even Keaton kind of walked it back. He was like, he was great. He's exactly what you want him to be.
Yes. I'm just kidding. He's a national treasure, and we all love him.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, so why did you just make that joke about Mr. Rogers doing cocaine?
He didn't say Mr. Rogers did it. He said that maybe the puppets did it. Who knows? Maybe King Friday was.
Oh, okay, all right.
Riding a white horse. I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know. Daniel Tiger. Maybe he's the one that's doing rails.
Yeah, that mailman always seemed kind of shifty, Mr. Feely.
Speedy delivery.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to tell us something.
More like speedball delivery.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Got him.
Yeah. Take that, Mr. McFeely.
Anyway, I was just weird that like there's just this out of nowhere Mr. Rogers joke.
Yeah, that's a weird. I mean, I guess because he is from Pittsburgh and Mr. Rogers is Pittsburgh, so I don't know. I thought they would have maybe talked more about the fact that he's trying to go back to his original like birth name in acting, Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I was like, that's something you could make a joke about. Yeah, after like 40 years of being famous as Michael Keaton, he wants to go back to his birth name of Michael Douglas.
Yeah, exactly. For those who don't know, he was
Michael Keaton Douglas or something. I don't know,
something like that. Like I thought that would have been a thing. Yeah, I mean, for the listeners who don't know, like Michael Keaton, his actual birth name is Michael. I think it's Michael John Douglas. But then when he moved to LA to get into acting, he had to change it because, of course, there's already a Michael Douglas. And there's also a Mike Douglas, too, of course.
That's true. The talk show host. Yeah. So it's this real whole John Cougar Mellencamp thing. So,
and I think I think people asked him about it. It's like, why'd you settle on Michael Keaton then? It's like as a tribute to Buster Keaton or Diane Keaton. And he literally was like, no, I just opened up the phone book, went to the K's, saw Keaton. I was like, all right, that's cool. And it's literally that random.
Well, that's what you got to do, I guess. I mean, Michael J. Fox's middle initial isn't actually J.
What?
His middle name is actually Andrew, but there was already a Michael Fox in the Screen Actors Guild.
Oh.
But, and a lot of times, actors go to their middle initials. Usually if there's somebody with a middle initial, that's why. But he was like, I couldn't be Michael A. Fox. So he changed it to Michael J. Fox.
Interesting.
So. Yeah, just a little random bit of trivia that's embedded itself into my head since the 1980s.
Michael A. Fox.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, so we have Michael Keaton talking about how people at Mr. Rogers did blow, and then Mikey Day comes out dressed up as the Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, because that's what Michael Keaton's still ostensibly promoting, because
he said
the Beetlejuice sequel opened like a month ago, I think.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. He said like, "Oh, I have a movie coming out," but like, my God, the movie's been out for a month.
Yeah.
So
it's got Jenna Ortega and everything, right?
Yeah, Jenna Ortega, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, Justin Theroux,
but not Jeffrey Jones. So don't worry.
Oh no, don't. Yeah, I think they do reference him.
Like the first teaser trailer, it's literally opening on his funeral. It was just kind of like, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're not employing this guy anymore.
Yeah. For those that don't know, look up Jeffrey. Well, maybe don't.
Give him a Google.
Yeah.
Give him a Google. He had some stuff go on since the first Beetlejuice.
Oh, and I mean, my God.
Yeah.
You'll want to clean your laptop after you see what he's been up to.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pulling the collar. So we have Michael Day as Mikey Day as Beetlejuice.
Michael A. Day.
Michael A. Day. Michael A. Day Keaton Douglas. And Andy Samberg comes out as Beetlejuice. And I'll admit, like, Samberg got me because, like, they're quoting Beetlejuice constantly. And at one point, Samberg just goes, "Remember from the film." I was just like, that's so stupid. It got me.
Remember he said that in the movie. The movie.
And I like they said, you know, hey, don't you usually play Doug Emhoff in the cold open? And he's like, yeah, but the writers couldn't work me in to it this week, so this is what we got.
Yeah, I mean, that was cute. Yeah, part of me almost thought that Jim Gaffigan would come out as Beetlejuice too.
Yeah, I missed Jim Gaffigan this week. It would have, you know, I get that, you know, yeah, you can't, you know, the VP didn't really do anything notable this week, so
yeah, that's true. But you know, Jimmy Gaff, he's still good for a laugh.
Yeah, he was at that Al Smith dinner. He was emceeing that.
Oh, that's right. Oh boy.
Yeah,
he must have stories.
He must. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it's Andy and Mikey just really wanting Michael Keaton Douglas to do the voice, and he doesn't want to do it. And they basically goad him enough to actually do the voice at the very end.
Yeah, which is kind of like when he came back in, like, the last time he hosted, he did the Batman voice.
Yes, I remember that.
I think the last time he hosted was like 2015, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
I have it up here somewhere.
Look it up. But we'll say that for now until I find the right answer.
Yeah, let's see. Last time he hosted was April 4th, 2015.
Ooh, yeah. Wow.
Although he did cameo in 2019.
Oh, it was a better time.
Where he did, you know, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
And I think because the audience was mostly Gen Z, they didn't quite get it, which it just made me feel so old. Because I can't remember who the musical guest was that week, but it was like Emma Stone and One Direction, or what's the K-pop group?
Oh, B2K?
BTS.
B2K is something
BTS.
Else.
I think the musical guest was, I think it was Emma Stone and BTS, if I remember correctly. Okay. But, you know, so it was like a really young skewing crowd, and like he did one of his most famous lines for Batman, and it was just like nothing. Crickets. And I was like, oh, I feel 200 years old.
Yeah. Oh, it's rough when you make a reference to something you think, oh, everybody my age will know this.
Yeah, this is universal pop culture knowledge, and no.
It's like, what?
Yeah. And we also had Keaton going, hey, I think I see Sarah Sherman, you know, standing in the wings, and she's also dressed up as Beetlejuice, and she's like, what? No, this is just how I dress. That was cute.
That was cute, yeah. Overall, not a bad cult monologue. Short, sweet, kind of to the point.
Yeah, I was just weirded out by the Mr. Rogers thing. It would have, if he'd done like a series of Mr. Rogers jokes, I think that would have worked better. Like one quick Mr. Rogers a cokehead joke. It's just odd. It's like, why are we going there?
Fred is on the blow.
Yeah. No, he's not. And yeah. You got to be careful with the Mr. Rogers jokes, I think, because he is one of the most universally beloved celebrities of all time.
Yeah, you know? I think he's one of those people that like he's like one of the few people that like kind of exemplifies, you know, purity and goodness and kindness in this horrible world.
So. You know, he's kind of like Jim Henson. If you make fun of Jim Henson, people aren't too fond of it.
Yeah, people get bummed out. It's like, oh man, why did you say that?
You know, and also because he's connected to people's childhood, so it's like it hits really hard.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, "What are you doing?" You know, and they get very outraged.
Yeah, my childhood.
Yeah,
my childhood.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I was outraged. I was just kind of like, huh? What? What are we doing?
Yeah, it was a little... But overall, decent monologue, I'd say.
I mean, it's fun. You know, we get to see people dressed up as Beetlejuice. I'm not made of stone, people.
Yeah, that's all we need. Just two people in the black and white striped suits. That's all we need.
That's right. Uh-huh. So first sketch, Shop TV, Halloween cookies. We've got... Heidi and Mikey Day. They've done these characters before. We got, Heidi's the lady and Mikey Day is the vaguely gay host.
Yes, Rhett and Lindy. There were, it's a home shopping network channel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Halloween, and we get to see like, oh, things are wacky over here. Our cameraman is dressed as a minion, and then they cut to the actual cameraman dressed as a minion.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, but if you look really closely, you can see there's like a clipboard next to the camera, and on that clipboard is a Saturday Night Live sticker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look,
I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, I spied with my little eye that little sticker, and I was like, oh,
okay.
That's the nerdy part of me that's like gets a kick out of that.
Oh, that's the nerdy part of you.
Yes,
okay,
that's it.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah, and so it's everything's Halloween themed on this in this sketch, and then they go to Toby the Cookie Guy, played by Michael Keaton, who's selling. Michael Keaton.
Quick shout out to the hair department because Keaton is wearing a wig, and I don't know how they did this, but it's a wig and it's like obviously dyed hair. I don't know how they did this. You'd think just like a wig is a wig, but it's like his character is obviously like a guy whose hair has gone gray, and it's like, and he's like tried to dye it back to its old brown color, and so he ends up with this weird sort of maroonish brown color that doesn't exist in nature.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that.
I don't know. It just struck me. I was just like, that's a nice touch.
Wow, good eye, man. Good eye.
Yeah, that he's got obviously dyed hair. That just amused me.
Fantastic. So Keaton is Toby the Cookie Guy, and he's selling this jumbo zombie eyeball. It's like it's this cookie that looks like a zombie's eyeball. He pulls it out.
It doesn't look like a zombie's eyeball.
Nope.
Here's the joke. It looks like a boob.
Right. Titty cookies.
Yeah. It's what did he say? It was like a vanilla cookie, so it's a sort of tan color, and in the center there's a bit of red velvet, and it looks like a nipple.
Yeah, and you show him, of course, rubbing the areola of the cookie.
Yeah, he's like, look how soft and squishy it is. And
like, put that away. Put that away.
And he's actually squeezing it, and it's like, springing back like the foam rubber that it is.
Yes, and of course they take calls about it. Mm-hmm. People saying, hey, do those cookies come in different ethnicities?
Yes.
That sounded like Longfellow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was absolutely Longfellow's voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, if you order one cookie now, you'll get another cookie. He pulls out a second cookie.
And he's holding them at chest level.
Of course.
So.
Get it? They're boobies.
And he's like, and we also have my trademark Cookie Guy glaze. And he gets out a frosting. What are those frosting tubes?
Like those little vanilla frosting tubes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's squirting vanilla frosting onto the onto the tit cookie.
Yeah.
And
of course Mikey Dave they'll freak out. Blur that out.
Yeah. And then they put the TVMA label on it.
Yes.
Which was cute.
And of course the local state prison orders 500 of those cookies.
Yeah. This is funny. I wish it kind of escalated more. I wish, I don't know. I wish he like pulled out a few more things. Like if we'd had some other cookies, like he was like, and I also have chocolate cookies, and then he comes out with brown ones or something.
Oh, like a dark Nutella center or something like that.
Right, and like I put a Hershey Kiss in the center, or whatever. Or if he had other cookies that looked like genitalia. I wish, they had a few more variations in there. I think that would have escalated it a little more. It was fun. It ended in a weird sort of petered out way where it's just like, okay, well, we're done. And then the hosts kind of wander back to their home base, and he's like, and Mikey Day says to Heidi, he's like, those really looked like yours, didn't they? And she's like, I know, right? Yeah. And that was it.
Yeah, not the strongest of endings.
Yeah.
Not a ton of escalation. A little bit of escalation, especially when they got the vanilla frosting and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of see what you mean. It was a little one note, but it was still cute enough, to
I enjoyed it. This is like, hey, we're making jokes about boobs. I'm, you're hitting me where I live. This is still my sketch of the week, I'd say.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not perfect, but yeah, I'd say this was what I liked the best out of this week.
All right, fair enough.
I think, unless I change my mind later on.
Yes, we leave the door open to change our minds at any point.
I have a very short memory. I may have forgotten about something we haven't gotten to yet.
Well, we can get to this because it's the return of PDD. The prodigal sons have returned on the pre-tape.
That's right. We killed the fatted calf, and
yes, that's right. And it's
please don't destroy skydiving.
Skydiving. I mean, not only are they not in the office, but one of the PDD boys, Ben, is playing a totally different character in this sketch.
Yeah, was that weird that Ben wasn't playing himself?
It was a little weird. It did take me out. It took me out of it a little bit.
Freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, because I guess their thing, it was Ben, but he had like a long wig on. He had long hair, so I was like, oh, that's not Ben.
He's a different guy because Ben wouldn't have a different haircut.
I kind of wish they did a little bit more to differentiate, like maybe put a mustache or something.
Yeah. Mustache equals different guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, all right, I'll play along.
That is known as the Star Trek mirror principle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mustache equals different guy. Goatee equals evil different guy.
That's right. Evil Hasselhoff. We all know this.
Yes. Oh, evil Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Did the evil Hasselhoff have his own Super Knight Rider car?
I don't think so. He should have had like something called Cat or something like that if he did.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been nice. But
so wait, what did evil Hasselhoff do if he didn't have his own supercar?
I don't know. Maybe just got around on foot or Ubered. I don't know.
Maybe he had a bike. He just riding around on a bicycle
with like a basket and a bell, or you mean like a motorcycle? Yes. Like a city bike?
Yeah.
Okay. Just had a city bike pass and like,
yeah.
I'll get you, Michael. Ching ching.
I'll get you, Michael Knight. Ching-ling.
Where's my helmet?
I'm gonna look up that episode of Knight Rider when we're done, though.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
So in this sketch, the premise is it's Martin and John about to go skydiving for the first time. They're going for John's birthday, and Ben is their skydiving instructor. He's not Ben; he's some other guy.
Yeah, but he's never named, I don't think, so we'll call him Ben.
And they're like, hey,
and he admits he's nervous.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you guys ready? It's like, yeah, good. Like, I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling off today. Like, luck isn't on my side.
Yeah. You ever have one of those days where you're just like, I just feel weird. And then we cut to Michael Keaton. He's Dirk. He's another guy, because the first time you go skydiving, you do a tandem jump. And he's on the phone with his lawyer, and he found out he just lost custody of his kids.
Yeah, so I don't even get him on the weekends now? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, there's a lot of signs saying that maybe they shouldn't do this jump. Even the pilot, who is played by Emil Joachim, saying, yeah, the vibe's off, right, guys? And he has earbuds in.
Yeah, and he's got his phone on the dash, and it says, how to fly an airplane.
Yeah.
And they get a selfie beforehand, and somebody's dead grandfather shows up in the selfie.
Yeah.
Which,
and I think they say, "Oh, last words. I mean, smile."
Yeah. And then before they jump out, Martin confesses his love for John.
Yes, he said, I love you, man. It's like, I love you too. It's like, no, I mean, romantically. I've always been in love with you. And then you can see John is feeling awkward and doesn't reciprocate. Martin goes in to kiss him on the cheek.
Mm-hmm.
He there's an awkward pause. He waits a beat, and he says, "I want to jump now."
Yeah. And then he straps into Ben, and just as they're about to jump out of the plane, the wind catches Ben's parachute. They fly out of the door, and they're dragged out of the plane. They hit the tail, and then they explode into a cloud of blood.
Yes.
The end.
Yeah. I kind of dug this one. I thought this was fun.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was a little weirded out that we're kind of breaking the usual "please don't destroy" formula, where Ben's suddenly playing a different character after 2 odd years of him playing himself.
It is a little weird. I feel like they're trying to broaden their horizons and say, hey, we're not just the Office guys. We do other things, man. You know what I mean? It's like when a musician tries to go electric or does something outside.
Yeah, it's like Dylan going to electric. That's exactly the comparison I was going to make.
That's what this was. This was Bob Dylan picking up a Stratocaster and just shredding. And it's I don't know if I like this, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see where they go from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we go?
So, but it's nice to have him back. I mean, we had 3 long episodes without any Please Don't Destroy on camera, so
it's good to have my boys back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So next sketch, Forbidden Romance.
Ooh,
sexy.
So this takes place in Detroit, Michigan, 1955. Andrew Dismukes is marrying Ego. Michael Keaton and Heidi Gardner are Andrew's parents who don't approve. And we've got Keenan and Devin as Ego's family because, we only have one black lady left on the show.
Oh, boy.
So we're just going to have 2 dudes sitting there and we're not really going to explain. I guess it's like her father and brother.
That's what I assumed, but
yeah,
they never say. They're just family.
They never say. But they're doubtful, but they're supportive.
Yeah, but Dismuke's mom and dad are like, this doesn't make any sense, especially nowadays. This is such a scandal. I don't want you to get hurt. Like, why would you do something like this? And Dismuke says, hey, maybe I made a song about how I feel, so you guys know where I'm coming from. I made a song about this black woman I love, and I think if you guys hear it, you'll understand where I'm coming from.
She's like, you wrote a song about me? I wrote a song about us, baby.
Yeah.
And then he gets out a ukulele and he starts playing Jason Mraz.
Yes, he plays Hey Soul Sister by Train.
Oh, that was by Train?
Yeah, that's like their biggest.
Okay, I was thinking for sure that was Jason Mraz.
No, this is like Train's biggest hit.
Okay, the ukulele threw me.
Yeah.
I knew the song, but I was like, I didn't remember who sang it, and then he got out the ukulele, and I was like, was this a Jason Mraz song? I think it was a Jason Mraz song, and I didn't look it up.
No, I get it. That's like during the era where like ukuleles ruled the music scene for a bit.
Yeah, okay. So it was Train.
It's Train. Hey Soul Sister.
Yeah, okay.
Hey!
Now, here I was all proud of myself for remembering the artist, but not the song title. And I didn't even get that right. Okay.
I knew this, and I'm not proud of myself.
Yeah, no, nor should you be.
Yeah, this is like it's one of the most cheeseball songs of the early aughts, I'd say.
It really is. It really is. There's a reason I didn't remember the artist. But as Dismukes is playing this, the white people are grooving to it, and the black guys are not having it.
Yeah, this kind of feels like something that maybe like Will Forte would have done back in his heyday.
I can see that. Yeah, Will Forte, he seemed to like sort of the non sequitur songs. I'm going to play the theme song for the 1967 Casino Royale.
Oh God, I love that sketch.
That's a great sketch.
Oh, It's fantastic. Guys, if you haven't seen that sketch, go do yourself a favor and watch it.
That was from the Peyton Manning show?
Yeah, and it's just like the fact that the majority of that sketch is just Will Ferrell dancing, no one speaking, everybody staring at him, hiding their laughter, and it's just that for like a good half of the sketch. It's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, this sketch is good. This sketch is, it's something like, it does have that Forte vibe where it's literally Dismuke singing Hey Soul Sister for a good portion of the sketch, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
I like how Devin leaves. He just nopes out. He's like, nope, I'm not doing this.
Like, I'll wait outside.
Yeah. And then after he finishes the song, Keenan retracts his blessing and Ego agrees. And they're like, we'll just leave through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which, that was a nice little extra detail. It was just kind of like, we're going to go back to our place here in 1955 America.
Yeah. Maybe, we should be with our own kind.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah. Wow. Oh,
a song so bad it convinces you that mixed marriages are a bad idea.
Wow.
I like this a lot. This was funny.
This was a funny sketch, and of course it ends with Dismukes being heartbroken, and the parents are like, I don't understand. That was a really great song. Yeah. Maybe it just need a little something more. And of course the dad has like a full bass with him. That's maybe miss a little bit of stank. And then of course he's, playing the bass to Hey Soul Sister. He
starts shredding. Yeah.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah.
Fun little sketch, I thought.
This was fun. It was just, it was just good, stupid fun. Good,
Yes.
goofy fun. It's what I expect from Disney. I'm assuming Disney had a hand in writing this.
It wouldn't surprise me if this was his brainchild.
Yeah, this seems like his sense of humor. So
this reeks of mukes.
It's got that muke stank on it.
Get that muke stank.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So next up, we got another pre-tape. We're going back to the world of TikTok.
TikTok. Really tough to summarize this because it's really just like the equivalent of channel flipping or doom scrolling.
Yeah. Like I've always like TikTok is literally just channel surfing in an app form.
Yeah,
it really is.
It really is. And I'm not on TikTok. I don't believe you're on TikTok either.
No, and after watching this sketch, I was like, this isn't for me. Like I shouldn't be. This is a way too chaotic a world for me to be on. Like I mean, people tell me you got to be on TikTok because that's where all the eyes are, and that's where people are on now. We can promote this podcast on there. But like I'm like I don't. This seems. I don't. Yeah. I can't navigate these waters, man. This just seems like too much chaos.
We are men of a certain age at this point, and you reach a certain point where you're just like, I don't want to get on another social media service, man.
Right.
I just want to stay with the ones I'm on. I want to be owned by non-insane, non-evil billionaires.
Can we make that happen, please?
And just I don't want to have to like make my account go private because Apartheid Boy is like, oh, I'm getting rid of blocks, and yeah, it's just
Twitter used to be so nice, so pure.
It was cool.
It was
a really good run there, and now I feel like it's going away. And I've got so many people. I'm seeing so many people who are like, I'm gone after the election. And anyway, the TikTok sketch, I didn't think much of this, honestly.
I thought it was interesting. They did have some things in there that I liked. I liked how there was one video of Emil Joachim making a cat dance to a song, and the song is the espresso song from the Ariana Grande episode that they sang in The Bridesmaids.
Oh yes, yeah, that was a neat callback.
That was a nice little callback. I liked how they had like Heidi Gardner as the trad wife, the traditional wife. She had this one sketch where, like, she's pregnant. She does everything by hand, saying, like...
Right. I'm a 22-year-old with 10 kids, so...
Yeah, like, I want to do everything by hand. I saw we ran out of paper, so my kids wanted to use paper to color and draw, so I mashed up my law degree to make up paper for my kids.
Right, yeah.
Like, little things like that were okay. Oh, and also we're framing this is framed as somebody on their phone, and somebody, I guess...
They're getting texts. They're running late for something, and they're saying like, "Oh, hey, I'm leaving now. I'm in traffic. I'm stuck in traffic." And then at the very end, the kicker at the end is like, "You missed the birth of your child," and he gives it a thumbs up, though.
Yeah. So he liked it.
He liked it.
Yeah, but some of the other TikToks on here, we see Ego going into part 55 with her beef with the Chili's on Jefferson Avenue.
Right. We have Bowen asking to sing to presidential candidates, and he's really bad.
Kamala says, "Oh, thank you very much. That was singing."
We have Mikey as a weatherman or a weather forecaster who's doing like a TikTok dance while he's predicting, reporting on a hurricane.
Yeah, at one point he said there's an evacuation order in place while he's doing like some backflips.
Right. Yes. Yeah. There was some cute stuff in there, but there's not. I was going to say there isn't a story, but there was kind of a story. But it's just so chaotic,
Yeah, it's just like a lot of things happening. Like we see new cast member Ashley Padilla on like some balance board in her living room, and then we flip to Devin Walker as this Hotep guy talking about how black men need to stay away from white women, and then it flips to Ashley back on the balance board, and then we see Devin's Hotep character coming in, and it's like, oh, they're together.
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, we can see that they're together, so that whole black men need to stay away from white women thing he was saying before was bullshit.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was it. Okay. See, I only watched this once, and I was just like, there's a lot of plot threads to keep track of.
Yeah, like from what I've seen online, people are saying, yeah, this is very accurate to what TikTok is. Just a lot of bizarre people just doing everything and anything to get likes and subscribers and attention.
See, this is the thing. Like most of what I've seen and heard about TikTok, it doesn't sound very appealing. So I'm just like, yeah, this doesn't sound like it's for me. And so consequently, this sketch wasn't really for me because I don't know. Like, look, hey, I can doom scroll with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
I can, do that and like stimulate my ADHD and then I'm like, oh, where'd the last 3 hours go? Oh, holy shit!
It's nighttime.
Yeah. Oh, it's 3 days later. Oh my god.
I have a full beard.
But it's not really interesting watching someone else do it, in my opinion. So that's kind of what the sketch felt like to me.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, there were things I liked in it, like the trad wife, the traditional wife part.
I mean, there were good gags buried in there, and I liked the kicker that he missed the birth of his child.
I enjoyed it for the most part, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like you dug it more than me. I was just like, okay.
But I get it. It is TikTok is a lot. It's just a lot of stimulation slamming you right in the face at once. So
it was just very chaotic for me. So
it is pure chaos, and I guess that's why the young people like it so much.
I guess so.
Right.
All right. Speaking of the young people liking stuff, we got our musical guest of the week, Billie Eilish. She did 2 numbers. She did "Birds of a Feather" and then "Wildflower."
Wildflower.
I have to say it like that because it was all in caps. Wildflower.
That's something I've noticed a lot of artists are doing, where they're putting the titles of their songs in all caps. Like a lot of, I don't know why that's a thing now.
I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of like the trendy thing to do, though.
Young people, get at us.
Young people, explain yourselves.
Yes, holler at us.
Explain yourselves.
Yes. Why all caps? What's the deal with all caps?
We olds want to know.
Yeah.
So okay, well, neither one of us are Billie Eilish fans.
I like her a little bit more than you. I think she's okay, but like I know you're not the biggest fan.
Yeah, just I don't care for her. I don't care for her. I was just like I sat and I watched and listened to these, and I did not change my opinion. I still think she sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, I think she's okay. She has a pleasant enough voice. I like the little in the first performance where like all like she was like surrounded by mirrors and cubes with like blue skies and clouds. It almost looked like that PM Dawn video from back in the day. I thought that was cute enough. Or the what was it, that "What's Up With You" video with Michael Jackson and Eddie Murphy. It kind of reminded me of that. And then the second song I thought was nice and mellow. I didn't write too much about it except for that killer PM Dawn reference. So for the most part,
thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, all the Gen Xers, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Gen. I got your back, Gen X. I got your back.
PM Dawn did like a killer cover of Norwegian Wood that like a college buddy of mine put on a mixtape he made for me once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was like what turned me on to PM Dawn.
I gotta give them another listen because, like, again, like I know, of course, the big hit they had where they sampled Spandau Ballet, but I don't know much about them other than that. But from what I've heard, they did some really good stuff. Oh, and they had that one song on the Boomerang soundtrack, "I Die Without You." That was
okay. Dope. So all right, so when we're done recording, I'm going to look up that Knight Rider episode with the evil Michael Knight. I'm going to listen to some PM Dawn. See, I'm planning out my next YouTube rabbit hole right here.
Yeah, this is
so
the algorithm isn't going to know what to do with you.
It really isn't. You got to keep it guessing, man. Like, you got to keep it on its toes.
It's like PM Dawn, Knight Rider. What the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah.
With this guy?
All I know is you're old.
Exactly.
All I know is your best days are behind you, and your cultural references are 30 and 40 years old.
Maybe you'll enjoy this Right Said Fred video. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's time to get that colonoscopy you've been putting off.
Oh God. Maybe this Cologuard ad will please you.
Anyway,
Billie Eilish, fine enough, nice, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Weekend update. Colin Jost, Michael Che, jokes.
It's a '90s Colin.
Yeah, he's really leaning into that now.
I don't. It's so absurd. It amuses me now.
It's the night. Like part of me,
I don't think it's got off to a great start because like it started out where he was just literally playing clips of Kamala and Trump, which just seemed lazy to me.
Yeah, like I know they kind of lean on that from time to time. They haven't done that as much, which I appreciate. But yeah, just showing the difference between them by just showing what they actually said and did. To me, that's not enough. You got to.
It just seemed lazy because it just felt like, throwing up their hands and being like, you can't satirize this stuff. It's so absurd already. And I'm like, well, that is literally your fucking job.
Yeah, yes, reality is a bit of a joke these days, but you can't. Yeah, you gotta do something to mix.
You still gotta heighten it,
Exactly.
I mean, they showed the clip of Trump talking about how Harvey Weinstein was schlonged by the Me Too movement.
Wow.
And that made me flash back to like somewhere early in his campaign where Trump used the word schlonged. And I remember this because I had to explain to my mother what schlonged meant.
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
So thank you for that, Trump campaign.
Oh, dear. Well, Mom, when a man and a woman love each other very much.
Yeah. Well, see, schlong is a slang term for penis, Mom. And
oh, dear.
When you say someone's been schlonged, it means they've been screwed over. This was a conversation I had to have.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So thoughts and prayers.
It's just...
Oof. Shivers. I did like the joke Che had about how Trump was saying how black people who vote for Harris should have their head examined. And Che said, well, no matter who we vote for, I can promise you I am not going to third.
Yeah, that's great. That's just a perfect Michael Che joke right there.
And that one joke Jost had about Tom Brady, I thought, got a very interesting reaction from the crowd because Tom Brady is now part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, but he is still fully owned by the New York Giants. And the audience was like, ooh. Even Che was like, wow, that got intense. What happened there?
Yeah.
And, of course, then Che, lightened the mood by saying, well, yesterday was National No Bra Day, and it was a huge flop.
Yeah.
Flappy titties.
Yeah.
Cookie titties and floppy titties.
Yeah. And then we had a desk segment. We had Emil Wakim on voting in the 2024 election with, just material which I assume is drawn from his stand-up act.
Yeah, this had to have been from his act.
Yeah, it just has the cadence of stand-up,
Yeah.
Where he talks about how his family immigrated from Lebanon and his dad made it in this country. He made it so hard, he's a Republican now.
Which is something that happens, I find out from a lot of people who come from parents who are immigrants. Like, they come to this country and, like, they kind of turn conservative or super conservative. And they're like, we got to keep these immigrants out of the country. It's like, dude, you're an immigrant in this. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, we made it, so therefore screw everybody else. I mean, that's very central to the Republican platform. So
yeah, like I know, like a lot of Cuban people in like Florida feel that way. It's like, come on, guys. Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he also talked about how people relax when they find out we're Christian Arabs. Like, you guys, you all relax a little bit, right?
Yeah, I did like that. That was a pretty good joke where he pointed out, like once people find out I was raised Christian, people get a little bit more relaxed. And they're saying it's kind of like, black dudes who wear anime backpacks.
Hi, John Minus.
Shout out to John Minus.
Who, I don't know if he owns an anime backpack, but he has gone to anime conventions, so I feel comfortable making that joke.
If I was a betting man, I would put good money on it. He has at least one.
Okay.
He definitely has anime t-shirts. That's a fact.
And he has opinions on anime.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this in a derogatory way at all. That's great. You go nuts with your anime.
Yes, exactly.
And any black dude with an anime backpack. That's fine.
Exactly. We are here for you here at the SNL Nerds.
Yeah. He's a sweetheart, ladies.
Yes. Ladies, he's available.
Ladies, he's single.
I did like how I felt like Emil really got into some kind of testy waters here with these jokes, talking about how Arab is just kind of a Greek guy that you're kind of afraid of. They're like Italian guys, like but that, like, they said like they're Italian because like we talk with our hands and we kiss our buddies on the mouth, but then we bomb the Middle East forever and suddenly we turn from Italian to like terrorists. That got the audience was like didn't quite know what to do with that.
Is that the one where if it didn't go over well, and then he immediately goes, Colin wrote that joke for me.
Yes, Colin wrote that for me. Yeah, because I'll give him props for talking about some serious stuff.
Right.
Like even when he was.
And I also love that he thought on his feet and he threw that line in, and that seemed like a spontaneous moment. And I love that like even the new cast members are getting in on the Colin bashing.
Yeah, exactly. Colin wrote that for me, and that kind of lighten the mood a little bit.
And the way Colin broke, I feel like that wasn't planned. So
I don't think so. But it was a good recovery. I liked it.
Yeah, and I liked how he was talking about how like oh no wait, I'm sorry, that wasn't part of Emil's. This was the just stop bombing them. They'll get to gay. Was that part of Emil's?
I believe so. Yeah, they also talked about
yeah.
Trans and gay people and
right
in Gaza and whatnot. It was
He's like nobody in the middle of a bombing is like, you know what, I think I'm bisexual.
Yeah, like he's some some. I mean, it's not fraught material, but it's definitely he's kind of talking through some things that SNL really hasn't addressed, like really, like the whole thing with Gaza and Israel. They've
kind of stayed away from that.
Yeah, but he's diving in, and he's definitely made a memorable debut, I'd say.
Yeah, I that was good. I always like it when like a new cast member gets a showcase on Update, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what this person's about now, and
like
I feel like we got that with Emil.
Yeah, like he kind of had Rami Youssef vibes a little bit, but like extremely likable, extremely funny, quick on his feet as he showed.
Yeah.
I'd say solid debut from Emil here. I think he was able to connect to the audience, and like who knows, maybe we'll see more of him in the months to come.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Slam dunk.
I enjoyed it. Let's see some other odd jokes that I enjoyed. I liked Chay's joke about the DiGiorno Thanksgiving pizza, where it like comes with the suicide hotline.
Yes.
It was like when that came out, I was like, I wonder if that's what I'm going to be having on Thanksgiving.
Yes, and then of course
the pizza, not the suicide hotline.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
John, but I mean, who knows? Who
knows?
It's like a month away.
Hey.
Oh God. It can happen.
Oh boy. Winter's coming.
Things could take a turn. Who knows?
Woo boy. I don't want to get a call, John.
Okay.
Talk about how peanut M&Ms are the healthiest of the candies, with the slight exception of the kids who die from touching them.
Yeah. I liked, this is backtracking a bit, but I liked Jay's joke where he talked about how the Catholic Church in California paid out it was over $880,000 in lawsuits for.
Oh, I thought you were going to say hush money, but okay.
Yeah, hush money, and it was like and the priest said, "Worth it."
Yikes!
Great joke, dark joke, very funny.
Yeah. Change just had some good jokes here. And then we have another death segment. Good old Sarah Sherman comes back.
Sarah Sherman talking about the Victoria's Secret fashion show, which apparently just returned for the first time in 4 years. I didn't realize it had gone away, but okay.
I didn't even occur to me. But
was that a casualty of the pandemic?
It might have been. Yeah, I think of maybe the pandemic, or maybe it's because they were getting hit with a lot of people saying, "Oh, this isn't."
This isn't woke.
Yeah, it's not. There's no inclusivity or body positivity. You're just like it's all beautiful.
Body positivities. That's something we're very concerned about.
Yeah, it's all beautiful, statuesque white women dancing in their panties. We need some real bodies in here. I believe
also dancing in their panties.
Yes, of course.
Because I mean, let's let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, let's not go nuts here.
Yeah.
So she's like commenting on that, and she's like talking about they did more inclusivity and body positivity, but they can go further. Like, where are my Midwest fours at?
Yeah,
they're not.
My notes from this are okay. I'm just gonna read my notes. Where are my Midwest fours at? Resting rabbi face, Pangea nipples, tired, cranky, busted bitches in real underwear.
Yeah, she's wow.
This was funny. Yeah. And, we also have a few digs of Colin in there, too.
Yeah, like she talks about how she wants to see women in the type of underwear she wears, like a sports bra and a diaper. And then Colin just says, "You wear a diaper."
And a T-shirt that she got in New Orleans that says New Orleans on the front.
Yes, and Colin says, "You wear a diaper?" And she's like, "Oh, why'd you lick your lips when you said that?"
Yeah. And then at the end she says, "I'll even get that BBL you offered to pay for." And I had to Google that because I was like, I don't know what a BBL is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is a Brazilian butt lift.
Ah, of course.
I did not go further down the Google rabbit hole. I don't know if the Brazilian butt lift if that is just the name of a butt lift procedure, or if that is also related to like the Brazilian where you're getting your hoo-ha in a certain style. But
that's a good way to put it. Wow, the algorithm's gonna have fun with you now after this.
It is. Yeah.
Let's see, Brazilian butt list, Michael Hasselhoff, PM Dawn.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I'll see. I'll do my best with this.
Yep. Okay. So that's what a BBL is. I was just like, okay, I want to know because I want to get that joke. And so.
And of course, you're talking about how she wants to see models in underwear that looks like it's been through hell and back, like underwear that looks like a flag at the end of a war.
Oh, okay.
Underwear that looks like what?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. I wasn't going to say this stuff, but you go ahead, sir.
No. I actually no. Now I'm looking at the next thing I'm going to say. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
She painted a word picture. Let's just say that.
It's pretty gross. I don't want to say it anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's a good call.
Yeah. Let's just end it there, guys. Just watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's one point where she says something that even made me go like, oh God.
Yeah.
But overall, pretty solid Sarah Sherman segment as always.
Mm-hmm.
The zany wackiness that is Sarah Sherman lives on.
I mean, it wasn't a full-fledged Colin Jost bashing segment, but there was enough of that in there.
Enough.
So it was all right.
Yeah, all right. Overall, not a bad weekend update, I'd say.
Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby.
Okay, not too shabby. Next up,
Uber Game Show.
Yes, Uber Game Show. We start off with a crazy zoom in. From the,
it felt like somebody wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Oh shit, we're on," and just like,
yeah.
And so we have Sarah and Bowen getting to backseat of an Uber driven by Ego, who's he's a male driver here, and
men can be Uber drivers too, Darren.
Yeah, I know, it's the 90s. I get it.
Yeah. The 90s.
And just right off the rip, Bowen and Sarah are going to the airport to go to Miami. The driver is like, "Oh, Miami, you heard they got baby cartels now. They got babies delivering drugs because they can get through the bars." So just right off the rip, this Uber driver is a little off.
It's got to be insane. Yeah, and I think everybody can relate to that. You get an Uber or a taxi driver, and they start talking or pontificating, and they're just nutso.
Yes, and they take the sketch a step further by the Uber driver saying, "Hey, you're actually on a game show now. You're on my game show.
Think About It.
It's called Think About It."
Yeah.
And lights go off. It's almost like Cash Cab type of thing.
It's Cash Cab, but they're giving them multiple choice questions that look like, and they're putting them on screen like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yes.
And they're multiple choice questions, and half the names are getting wrong. It's like, who's running for president right now? My man, Donald Trump.
Yeah. Kamala Cabello.
Kamala Cabello.
Or Jiggy Lane Maxwell.
Yes.
We can see Bowen isn't into this. He's like, "Oh no, we just want to go to the airport, please." Right. And but Sarah's like, "Oh yes, let's play. This seems like fun."
Yeah. And then they pick up Michael Keaton, who's like this fellow conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, he's vaping.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, who did they kill with the vaccine? O.J. Simpson, 2, free speech, or 1, Jiggy Lane Maxwell's husband.
Yeah. You mean Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes.
I like the line, I don't know why, but I like the line, "Trish, I know you're from Nebraska, but stop."
That was a good line.
That was cute. I think it was just how Bowen delivered it tickled me.
Yeah. And then they get into a speed round talking about real or fake. Well, they'd also get a prize. They won a tiny hot water bottle. It's not sealed, but it's full.
Right.
And then they go into the speed round, real or fake. Birds, fake. Pigeons, fake. And then they go into the speed round saying, all right, the media, the Pope, and driver's licenses, all fake. And he should get the right. And then Bowen's like,
"You don't have a driver's license?"
Yeah. And then, of course, you think Jesus had a driver's license? And then Sarah says really quickly, "Not my Lord and Savior."
Yeah.
I like that line. It was a quick little line.
Yeah.
Not my Lord and Savior. And, what do you make of this? I thought it was interesting.
I thought this was all right. I didn't love it, but it was okay. It passed the time agreeably.
Yeah, it had a lot of world building there a little bit, I guess.
And honestly, until Michael Keaton got into the Uber, I was like, "Oh right, Michael Keaton's on this show."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was doing this. somehow on like a couple sketches, like this sketch and the next sketch, both of them, I was like, "Oh right, Michael Keaton."
Ooh, Michael Keaton's here.
I think after the musical guest and the weekend update, I just somehow forgot who was hosting the show. It was like, "Oh yeah, hey, we got to get the host in."
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice, yeah.
Right. Hey, Batman's here. Oh, yeah. All right.
But yeah, I thought this sketch was interesting. I feel like it's maybe one or two rewrites away from being like a real banger. Like I kind of like the premise. I did like you said with Bowen with the Nebraska line. I still like Sarah's line, not my Lord and Savior. Like there's stuff in there to like, but yeah, it's still, I don't know, maybe it was the pacing or the beats or something was a little off, not quite there.
I see why it was where it was in the show.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? Yeah,
absolutely.
That was a good spot for it.
Yes. Next up, horror choreographer.
Yeah, this one, okay, we're shooting Halloween Rises. We got Chloe and Sarah as the two young ingenues who are, alone in the home. And they're about to get killed by Michael Myers. And Mikey Day is the guy playing Michael Myers. And the joke is he comes in and he, instead of walking in that deliberate Michael Myers way, he just sort of sachets into the room.
Yeah, exactly. Dismukes is the director. And like you said, like he calls cut because Mikey Day's doing these like very sassy sachet, almost like RuPaul's Drag Race dance movements.
Yeah,
and he's like, and
he's Michael Myers but fabulous.
Yes, fierce.
Yeah,
and Dismuke says like, "Hey, what are you doing, my guy?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. This is what my stunt movement coordinator, Bo, told me to do."
Yeah. And we have Michael Keaton coming in
as Bo,
sort of a gay stereotype.
So yeah, pretty much. It's the older gay dancer types.
This seemed, I don't know, it seemed a little too close to the joke being like that. He was gay rather than he was doing these inappropriate dance moves.
Yeah, I could see that. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this is a sketch where
I'm sure that wasn't the intention, but the way it played, it seemed a little like that. I did like the line, "The murder was too sassy and flirty."
Yes, exactly. Then at one point we see them try it again. He still comes in sassy and flirty, and then Michael Keaton kind of does the walk in for him, and it kind of becomes like a choreographed dance where it's like, do sassy, Michael K, Madonna, and it's not worth it. And he just drops the knife and doesn't do it, and then Dismukes ends up firing both of them, and then he's like, "Well, can any of the crew do this scene?" And then Bowen, who's been working the clapperboard the whole sketch, saying, "Oh, success is when preparation meets opportunity," and then he like kind of does it.
Right. And kind of a weak ending.
Yeah, this is a sketch I was referring to. That the more I think about it, the more I was like, yeah, this was kind of a dud, not almost a dud. It was like,
I like the idea of it. Yeah, the execution was a little lacking.
Yeah,
in both senses of the word.
Hey-o. Yeah, this one is
because Michael Myers kills people.
Yeah, this one is like, the premise is okay, but it doesn't. Maybe it
didn't quite hit the mark.
Yeah, like the escalation really wasn't there. And then it just.
I like the idea of Michael Myers, like, doing absurd dance moves instead of the, walking slowly to his victim and being very direct, mechanical, and but that's a cute idea. That's a funny idea, but it didn't. Yeah,
it seemed like they had the idea and they didn't quite know what to do with it.
Right.
So, yeah, this one was the closest to a dud for me, if not a dud, full out dud.
Well, and speaking of full-out duds, that's that gives me a segue into the next sketch, Tableside.
Oh, you thought this was a dud? Interesting.
I thought it was a dud. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, all right, let's get into it.
Okay, we're in a Mexican restaurant. We got, two families coming together. Our second interracial marriage of the night. I was like, okay, that's weird in that we're not really differentiating this too much.
Oh, so you're saying interracial marriage is weird, John? Oh my God. I can't believe it. Canceled him.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I tried.
Yeah.
But yes,
there's no good way for me to respond to that, Darren.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's so much fun for me.
I mean, I'm for
You're
interracial marriage.
you're for the internet. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I'm for the internet. I nearly said international marriage. I'm also for international marriage.
Wow, love
I'm
is
just
love.
I'm for marriage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one we have Bowen, not Bowen. Yeah, no, not Bowen. Devin.
There were so many people around the table.
That's I will agree with you there. They could have just chopped this down to 4 people. There was really no
They
need.
could have. Yeah, I was like, I don't get why the occasion is celebrating a marriage, because the rest of the sketch didn't really have much to do with that.
No, not at all. So it's all right. So it's Michael Keaton and Ashley Padilla as one
Right.
one set of parents. We had
Yeah.
Ego and Keenan as the other set of parents, and the
Right.
couple getting married is Chloe and Devin, and
Right.
they're celebrating the engagement. And then
Right.
Heidi, and they're at a Mexican restaurant. Heidi comes in because they asked for fresh guac,
Right.
and then we have Michael Keaton seeing her saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, but are you? Is your name Beth?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "No, I'm Maggie."
He was like, does Morristown, Massachusetts in 1987, does that ring any bell for you? And she's like, no, I was 2 years old in 1987.
And they're like, oh, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But then Heidi's character gets intrigued. It's like, "Well, tell me what Beth was like."
Right. And Keaton's wife, played by Ashley, she's like, I've never heard of this person before.
Yeah.
What's going on?
And yeah, so he goes into this very long. This feels like this is a very writer's sketch. The writers really
It is.
went to town on this one.
Uh-huh.
Talking about, yeah, she was doing. I was doing summer
They
stock.
took the scenic route for this
They
one.
really did.
Yeah.
They put in all the description, and they're talking about how, yeah, Beth. I was doing summer stock. Beth was working the box office. She had the best hair, laugh.
Anyway, it was like she's like the one who got away for him.
Exactly.
And then Heidi is like, oh, well, that sounds like my old boyfriend Benny, and she goes off on her little monologue.
Yeah, he had.
And then Keaton's like, oh, I guess I was like the Benny for Beth, and
yeah, and then it takes the scenic route for this one for sure.
I just found this odd. This honestly, it just felt like some writer was like, okay, shit, I've got to have something for read through on Wednesday. I'm just going to open up my laptop and free associate, and then somehow it got accepted. It got into dress. It got onto the show. It just felt like a whole lot of nonsense. I don't feel like it had much of a story. It didn't have much of an arc. I didn't find it particularly funny.
I thought it was interesting. Like you said, like when Heidi's talking about Benny, it's like, oh, he was everything you thought you wanted when you were too young to know what you want. He had long hair. He was thin. Really defined gums. Like there were some jokes in there about like, it was. This is a very wordy sketch, and that maybe I think that's the thing that is like kind of to its detriment, where
I just found it odd, man.
And and then they keep talking. He talks about Beth some more, about how, yeah, like you said, he was the one that got away because he kissed her sister, and Heidi's character gets really into it. It's like, tell me you write her, please tell me you write Beth to tell your side of the story. And then Keaton's like, well, I want to, but she confines me, and he points to the wife, saying like, you say I'm not a writer, and the wife says, no, I say you need income, and the waitress screams, that's your opinion, and then she screams so loud, I guess that's where Keaton's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Beth probably wouldn't have said it like that, so you're not Beth. So check, please. And then the sketch abruptly ends.
Yeah.
Which,
just,
wow.
Weird. Like I said, just very odd.
This
is weird. I don't really get how this one made it to the show.
I mean, 10-1, baby.
Yeah, 10-1 is when you bring out the weird stuff, but
this
wasn't weird funny to me. It was just odd.
It was a big swing for sure. It was definitely one, if you like words and you like to really get down deep into like character development in your sketches, this is the one for you. I will say that I did like, because like this sketch did play into one of Heidi's strengths, which is like kind of dramatic acting. Like she's very good at like sort of getting really into characters and dramatic, monologues like that. Like this did give Heidi a lot to do. So in that respect, I did like it. But yeah,
she undeniably was in a lot of the sketch.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, it was. I didn't hate it, but it was just like, this feels like.
I didn't hate it either. I was just more confused by it.
Yeah, I was like, this feels like a lot.
I wasn't like actively annoyed by it or offended by it. I was just like, what? How'd this make it into the show? What's going on?
Yeah, this felt like and
I was perplexed.
I was more perplexed by the abrupt ending, where I was like, oh, that's it. Or I mean, I don't know if that was like a time thing or that is how
this week we seem to have a few abrupt endings or odd endings or didn't quite stick the landing. Like, you know, in the Halloween cookie sketch, it was like, oh, we're ending on, oh, those look like your boobs. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's a weird way that just seems to peter it out more than anything. But okay.
Yeah, it feels like we're falling into the old patterns of, we don't know how to end this sketch, so just cut it off right here and now.
Right. And I think the only time that's ever worked was when they had, this was like sometime back in the 80s when they had Tom Hanks come out, and he was like a doctor, and he comes out and he says like, yeah, I'm sorry, we don't know how to end this sketch. And the other characters are like, oh, okay, should we just go? And he was like, yeah, I think that would be the best. And he's like, goodbye, you undeveloped characters. And
that was good.
Yeah, it had just a real obvious joke at the beginning where it was like, I think Mike Myers maybe was an expected father, like wandering around outside, and he keeps hearing sounds that sound like, you know, his wife is in labor, and they're like, push, push, push. And then he like storms into the operating room or the delivery room, and you know, he's seeing these absurd things that aren't his wife giving birth. Right. And that happens a couple of times, and then Tom Hanks comes out and he's like, yeah, we don't have an ending for this.
Yeah. But yeah, this sketch kind of, I guess it's an interesting sketch, but it was too dense. I think that's the way to describe it. It's just too dense.
Yeah.
Like
okay, I'll go with that.
Like the way there were just like the very in-depth description of everything that there was going on, and I mean, it wasn't super hard to follow, but there were sometimes like,
no,
okay, it was maybe needed more jokes in there instead of just words.
More jokes would be good.
Yeah. You know, I'm no comedy writer, but I would like to think in a comedy sketch.
I do like jokes in my comedy sketches.
Wow,
it's a bold stance, but yeah.
All right, weirdo.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the episode, guys.
Yeah, we got Michael Keaton, Billie Eilish, and Vote T-shirts at the Good Nights. Keenan still in his makeup,
as you do.
Yeah, and we had a cut for time sketch.
Yes, we got one cut for time sketch, a weekend update desk segment.
Yeah, with two guys dressed as doctors who share last second Halloween ideas. We got Longfellow and Marcello, and they're dressed as doctors, but people think they're the Menendez brothers.
Yes, and because now of the FX show about the Menendez brothers, they're hot right now, and like I guess people just find the Menendez brothers more hot and sexy than actual doctors, so they've been just telling people they're actually the Menendez brothers.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then they show like some other Halloween costumes that are very specific, but they've been rebranded as things.
Yes.
So
exactly. Like
this was cute. I thought this was amusing.
Yeah, this was a cute one. I thought it was fun. I mean, I kind of maybe would have preferred it to stay in, but like I don't think I don't know what I would have cut out for it to make room for it. But
right. Yeah, I feel like this was good, and I feel like if it wasn't Halloween centric, they would have just pushed it to another week.
Yeah.
But because it's topical on Halloween, they were like, okay, well, our next show is not till after Halloween, so let's just put it up as a cut for time thing.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, but I don't think it was any fault of the material, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it's a strong death segment, strong material. I dug it, but yeah, it's a bummer it couldn't have made it to the show.
Yeah.
And that's the episode. Overall, decent episode, I'd say.
Overall thoughts? I feel like the episode just kind of petered out. Like the last half was not great stuff.
The last half was had some interesting stuff, but I don't know if it really quite got there. I still
like the table side, the horror choreographer, and the Uber game show. I felt like all that stuff had problems.
Yeah, it kind of
so you know that kind of that kind of lowered the show a few notches. Like, even though there was some strong stuff early on, it made me feel very about the show overall because we had like basically 3 week sketches.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like Keaton kind of did what he could to elevate it, but he didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think he quite. I think he got close to with the table side sketch. Like he kind of was a little bit more focused and zoned in on that one, but the other everything else, he kind of didn't quite get it there. And I don't.
Yeah.
I still like. I think the Ariana Grande episode was a little bit better than this, which
I think it was better. Yeah,
and the Bargatze. I mean,
it had a lot of singing, but it was better.
Yeah, and the Bargatze episode I think was better too. But
the Bargatze is my favorite so far.
Yeah, but
yeah,
overall, not a bad episode, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what the people say.
Let's see what the people say. What say you, people?
Yeah, people. They got opinions.
They do. People.
Yeah.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world.
We got Jacob at Dark Matter _362 says, first thoughts, cold open. Funny moments, but boring overall. Surprised Alec was back, but boy, did he kill it. Monologue was fun. Shop TV. I missed these guys. Fun sketch, but nothing memorable. Please don't destroy. Thank you. I know they are Nepos, but there are Nepos. Ending killed me. Then he continues. Hey, Soul Sister. One note, but I dug it. TikTok. Can't remember, but did these start during COVID? I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. I think they might have started during COVID. That seems like something.
Yeah, I believe so.
It seems like they did something like that during the SNL at home shows.
Yeah.
Weekend update, fun as always. I don't think Emil is that funny, but I'm also distracted by his lovely eyes. I think we have a love connection.
The ladies like Emil, yes.
Yeah,
and the boys.
Cab and Halloween are fine. And then lastly, he says, restaurant, wonderful premise, but an okay sketch saved by a great ending.
Interesting.
I don't even remember much of the ending. So
no, the ending was him just like saying, "Oh, you're not Beth. Check, please."
Right.
Done.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great ending, but okay.
Okay.
Overall, a decent ep. Okay.
Okay, not bad. Minette Moratti, our good friend at Minette97, saying, I can't be the only one who was thinking of the argument clinic sketch from Monty Python during the cold open. Not that it was a bad cold open or a ripoff of the sketch, just that the beats as Alex and Maya were ping-ponging felt like was taking inspiration from it. The argument clinic sketch. I don't know if I remember that.
Oh, you don't. That's like one of the classic Python sketches. That might even be from the first episode. It's Michael Palin. He walks into an office and he says, "Hello, I'd like to have an argument."
Oh, right. Oh, shit.
And then,
okay.
Yeah, and then he walks into an office with John Cleese and they start going back and forth. And he's like, "Is this the right room for an argument? I told you once. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. No. And then it's, this isn't an argument. This is just contradiction." And then they start arguing about what an argument is. Classic.
Oh, shit. That's okay. All right. I see what you. All right. Now that I remember that sketch, yeah, like it's. Yeah, I guess I sort of see the similarities, but
I feel like, I don't know if they were taking specific inspiration from it, but I could see that they had that sort of rapid fire rhythm at the end. So yeah, I see what you're saying there, Manette.
Yeah, we get it, Manette. But yeah, Manette, great pull. Wowee.
Yeah. Let's see. Our friend Boardman Gets Paid says, "Hi diddly ho, nerdarinos."
Hey.
I fell asleep at the end of update. Good call. And apparently I did not miss much. No, you did not. That cookie made me feel adult things I wasn't ready for. Table side was hilarious. PDD is out of timeout. After the next episode, the world may end, so let's all go down laughing.
Hear.
Peace and heart. Yeah. Thank you, Boardman.
Very nice. Nick Storr, our good friend Nick Storr, saying, let's call it a solid episode. Like third best of the first four, but a whole lot better than the premiere.
Yeah.
Glowing review, I see. Weekend update was strong. PDD were great. First PDD sketch where they weren't playing themselves.
I think so. Yeah.
I think Maya and Alec were giving a masterclass in cue card reading.
Yeah.
B minus.
I mean, that would have killed the cold open if they didn't get the pacing on that right. And those two are such pros.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's one of those things. Well, yeah, I get how you really need to get the pacing on something like that just right, just the jokes to hit. So like it's one of the things like I'll excuse them just being real focused on the cue cards for that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's totally forgivable. I mean it's also got to be difficult when you. I mean, I know in the plays I've done, it's difficult when you have to interrupt somebody at a certain point. Um, you know, that's a tough thing to do and to make it look natural. So I think they did a good job of that.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Lastly, we have Techie at Uncle Scrooge DCK. Beth! Fave's sketch with some good acting by Michael Keaton. Serviceable ep. Could have used more stank.
Yeah, get that bass out.
Well, yeah, I guess the tableside sketch was a love it or hate it sketch. It didn't work for me at all. You liked it a little more, but
yeah, that's true. That one was definitely that was a big swing for that one.
Yeah, I was just scratching my head over that one. I'm just like, how'd this end up in the show? What's going on?
No, I get it. It's that one. I mean, but sometimes like I kind of respect them for doing things like that, where it's like I don't think everybody will get this one, but the ones that get it will maybe appreciate it. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'd like them to do big swings rather than do something I know they just put out just because they know it'll like be liked by the masses.
I agree. I 100% agree. I'd rather see them make a big swing, a big swing, and try something new rather than just like, oh, let's drag out Lisa from Temecula again or whatever.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, yeah. I never want the show to stop trying different stuff.
Yes.
So
yes, keep it on. We also got this one from Lucho Blanco saying. 1 out of 2. Cold Open was brilliant. It hit all the weak stories with a twist. The boob cookies cream punchline was a perfect juvenile joke. Happy to see PDD back, away from Office, Soul Sister, funny, very dismukes, and the TikTok montage, cute. Weekend Update season's best, introducing Joaquim's Arabic humor to the world, and Sherman killing it again. The Uber game show, weird, original AF. Mexican restaurants, superb writing, abrupt ending, and Miss Eilish delivered, but missed her in a sketch, an 8.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
I didn't see that comment at all. I don't know how you saw that and I didn't, but okay.
Yeah. I think he like reposted it and then commented it. Like it wasn't in the thread.
Oh, right. That was a quick treat.
That's right.
I see.
That's how Lucho rolls.
That's how Lucho rolls. Okay. All right.
Yeah. But
all right. Well, thank you for chiming in, Lucho.
Thank you, Lucho. But yeah, I guess that's the episode. Thanks for listening.
Guess so.
Thanks for listening, guys. As always, you can follow us on Twitter because we refuse to call it X at SNL Nerd Show, and you can follow me on Twitter because I refuse to call it X, and all the other platforms at Darren Credible. That's DARI.
That you refuse to call X. Yeah.
Yes, X. Absolutely. At DARI.
Because they're not.
They're not. What?
Yeah.
No, I don't see them. That's that.
Yeah.
No. At Darren Credible. DARIN Credible.
And you can follow me on Twitter and other places at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and the word comic. And I just had to go private again because the whole block thing.
Yeah, I know we've said in the past we'll be on Twitter because we refuse to call it X until the whole thing implodes, but I don't know.
I don't know if and I don't know if like he's made that change yet because like. The tweet just said like, oh, we're going to make this change soon. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is soon, dude?
Yeah.
Like give us a fucking date at least.
When will then be now?
Yeah, soon. So I don't care for the vagueness of that. So yeah, I went private just to be safe. And it's not really my choice to be private, but
Yeah, it's just
but I don't want people I blocked to be able to see my shit,
Yeah.
I blocked those fuckers for a reason.
Just rich people ruin everything.
They really do. I don't like them. I don't care for them.
Yeah. Unless you guys want to give us some money, then I will happily.
If you want to make us rich people, we will try to break the pattern and be rich people who are not assholes.
Yes, we'll try. We'll try.
Yeah, we'll do our best. I mean, if we become assholes, well, that's the chance you take.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. If I had $1 million, the first thing I'd do is have all the children in the world hold hands. Hold hands.
First would be that crap with the kids.
I forgot revenge against all my enemies. Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch the evil Michael Bay episode of Knight Rider, PM Dawn, and some other shit. And then I'm going to finally get that Brazilian butt lift thing. So,
and after that, for all the children in the world, hold hands. Oh boy. So SNL is going to be dark next week, but after that, got a new episode November 2nd.
Yep.
Got Mr. John Mulaney.
I've heard of him. Yes,
and Chappelle Roan.
Oh, well, cool. All right. Looking forward to that. I always enjoy it when Mr. Mulaney hosts.
Yes, yeah. I mean, a lot's happened to him.
A lot happened to him? Yeah, he's had another kid since he's been on SNL.
Grew his hair out.
Grew his hair out. He had the Everybody's in LA show, which I finally caught a couple months ago, and yeah, that was fun. He's coming back with a new talk show on Netflix.
Yeah. My boy, he's out here. Your boy's out here.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so looking forward to him on SNL, interacting with this new. I feel like he's going to have chemistry with Longfellow, but that just could be me.
I could see that. Yeah, their energies would complement each other, and that would work. Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's. I mean, the odds. What are the odds that we're going to get another Diner Lobster? I feel like they're pretty great.
I feel they're good. Yeah, this would be like the 5th in that series. So
I believe so, or no, 6 because he's in the 5-timers, right? So
yeah, he is, and he did do Diner Lobster in his first host. Yeah, I guess you're right. So we had Diner Lobster. We had the
airport.
We had one in a bodega.
Airport sushi.
Airport sushi. He had the one in the subway.
Yeah.
What am I forgetting?
I don't know. Diner Lobster, Airport sushi, bodega. The New York souvenir shop.
Ah, okay, that's it.
The NYC souvenir shop. Yeah, that one.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this would be 6.
Wow. What institution will he take on next?
What New York centric institution? I don't know. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Yeah. Will they pull it off for a 6th time? Who knows? Who knows? Tune in. But hey, we're not taking the week off. We're not like those lazy bums at SNL.
That's right. We're out here, son. Grinding.
We're out here on these streets cranking it out.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do next week? But do we want to say? No, we're not like that.
Yeah, I guess we could say. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. We're gonna watch the Saturday Night movie.
That's right.
From Jason Reitman, where it's all about the first episode of SNL, the lead up to that, and all sorts of chaos happens, things break, stuff goes wrong.
Yes.
Milton Berle pulls his dick out apparently. So
yes, just all types of buffoonery and whackassery. Right. It's a movie everybody's talking about. Or
at least everybody in our circle.
In our circle. So so we're gonna we've been looking forward to this movie for the longest. We've been super pumped. It's out now in theaters worldwide. Saturday night.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna give our thoughts about it.
Yes, our thoughts, our opinions, our
Will we have good thoughts? Will we have bad thoughts? Will we be indifferent to it? We don't know. We don't know.
Not a clue.
Yeah, we'll find out together. So join us next week when we're doing that, when we're checking out Jason Reitman's Saturday Night. But until then, nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.